Listen up, shitheads. My name is Ronan Daglish, and this is my podcast about a bunch of boring assholes in a up book about a bunch of dumbasses that totally sucked ass. And I can't believe that I had to read every page of this Okay, so if you thought that was really inappropriate language for a high school student to put in a report, I totally agree with you. I would expect to get an F on this project because of that. Except that the book that I was assigned to read had those words on every other page, so it must be okay for school, right? Am I the only one who thinks that it's kind of weird that we're treating this book like literature? I mean, there's dirty language, but we haven't even talked about the blowjobs yet. I'm not sure why I'm reading porn in school, but at least it got everyone's attention. When we played the audiobook in class, we all listened closely to Alaska giving detailed instructions on the right way to give a blowjob. So we got to read some porn in class and learn some life skills too. Who says high school doesn't prepare you for the real world? I'm just wondering if this means our high school has new ideas about good and bad behavior. Miles, the Colonel, and Takumi hired a stripper for speaker day at their school, so maybe there will be strippers at our graduation ceremony next week. The book thought Alaska and the Colonel were pretty cool for hiding their vodka and wine on campus, so will the ASB be selling margaritas and tequila shots on the quad at lunch? I'm wondering if my BVTV broadcast is going to start showing clips from Pornhub next. Honestly, I don't understand why the books we read in school are always so depressing and dark. In 3 years of high school, there has been exactly one book that didn't depress the living crap out of me. The Alchemist by Pablo Coelho. All the others were so full of sad characters living in a world that was cruel, racist, misogynist, unfair, hopeless, and then they died. In Looking for Alaska, the characters are all suffering and making their lives worse with stupid choices. Miles is a shy kid who came to Culver Creek boarding school looking for a new beginning in his life. And I guess he found it. He learned how to smoke, drink, have sex, and play pranks like peeing in people's shoes. And almost being drowned in a lake. In the end, he had sex with a girl he didn't care about. And he let the girl he actually loved drive drunk and kill herself. Alaska Young is so broken and depressed. Her mother died when she was a little girl, and she thinks it was all her fault. Sometimes she is so depressed she doesn't want to live. Other times she is wild, crazy, so she can't feel her pain. She would frequently drink like an alcoholic, drive her car like a maniac, and talk about killing herself. Her friends didn't really worry about her crazy behavior until after she was dead, and they still thought they really loved her. I can't decide if this book is about people who think life is hopeless, or if it's just trying to convince me that life is hopeless. What I do know is that I was mostly offended by almost everything in this book, and I was so embarrassed to read it out loud in front of my parents. Look, I'm not a normal teenager, I know that. I don't drink and smoke and do drugs, and I don't like to be around anyone who does. Kids have sex with people they don't know or even like. And they have fights with other people at school that nobody really wins. High school is when you make bad choices and hopefully learn from them. But the characters in Looking for Alaska are nothing but their bad choices. That's all we really get to know about them. The Eagle is mean and likes to be too strict on his students. The students play mean and dangerous pranks on each other. Most of the students drink, smoke, and the book is almost an instruction manual on how to do those things at school and get away with it. The Colonel stays in a relationship for years with a girlfriend who hates him and makes him miserable. Miles has sex with a girl and then ignores her until she goes away. There is almost nothing to like or admire about any of the main characters unless you want to admire them for how good they are at being bad. So in the end, this book was a train wreck. It was dirty and depressing, and it seemed totally pointless. I'm not even sure the characters learned anything in the end. I know I didn't learn anything. But one thing for sure, looking for Alaska did teach me how to get someone you barely know to give you a blowjob. Thanks, John Green.